Hi, everybody! Right in the middle of the month, I got my comics read. It's a miracle, right? I've been very tardy the last number of months, but I'm getting back on track with my life. Anyways, to start things off, we only have a little bit of G.I. Joe and Transformers, but a ton of Turtles. So let's dive into the TMNT, shall we? First up, issue 4 of 5 of the Turtles Power Rangers team up. So in this one, there's a few battles going on different fronts. Leonardo and the Green Ranger are at the Temple of White Light, where they went to find this weapon that could turn the tide against Shredder and Lord Zed. But Lord Zed ends up showing up, stealing the weapon, and this mystical tiger that guards this area tells Leonardo and the Green Ranger, the fight's over, just get out of here. You've lost this battle, but the war is not over yet. And they're both like, no, we need to go after him. We need to fight, whatever. And the White Tiger is like, this is Splinter's advice to you. This is what Splinter wanted, so just go back. Dimension X, I think it's, is it Donnie and some of the other Rangers are fighting, and the Neutrinos and Casey Jones are fighting off some opposition there. And then in Parts Unknown, I think it is, Mikey, Raphael, Kimberly are fighting off some Mousers and Bebop and Rocksteady, I think it is. And so there's all these kind of fights going on as the action continues to reach a climax. But suddenly, Lord Zed got back to Shredder and Krang and whatever and implemented this weapon. And what comes out of it is the Technodrome wrapped in this mechanical, like, Dragon Zord or something like that. So a weapon of unimaginable power, and they set their sights for, oh god, what's Zordon, the guy that gives the Power Rangers all their advice and their missions and stuff like that. So they're going to destroy Zordon, and I'm sure they're not going to end with him, right? So that's kind of how it ends off, as this massive Technodrome dragon weapon starts unleashing fiery death upon everything in sight. So don't know how the Turtles and the Rangers are going to rebound from that, but also entering the fray right near the end, Master Splinter shows up in like a golden Power Rangers suit, and Leonardo is so happy to see him because he thought Splinter was dead, and Splinter's like, I'm sorry for the deception, but it had to be this way. Now let's go get these guys, right? So 5th and final issue coming up at some point in the future. We'll see how they're able to save the day this time, because they're going to win. It's just a matter of how. Next up, issue 32 of the Saturday Morning Adventures series. So in this one, it's Christmas time, and Casey Jones and Raphael are in like a department store watching Santa have the kids sit on his lap and ask what they want, blah, blah, blah. And Casey starts going off about Santa this, Santa that. He's a liar. He's a criminal. I should bring him in, And Raph's like, whoa, slow your roll. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And then Casey recounts a story of his childhood when he sat on Santa's lap and asked for a, I forget the name of it. It's basically like a stuffed bear toy with a gangster suit on him, like a little gangster bear kind of guy. And Casey never got him for Christmas, so he's harbored this grudge for Santa for all these years. But suddenly, a group of thugs shows up, steals all the toys from Santa's little exhibit or whatever, and of course Raph and Casey have to jump in and beat these guys down. But they're being led by this mutant. I don't know if he's a saber-toothed tiger or some kind of weird-looking cat, it looked like. And so they get in a fight with him, but this guy ends up overpowering them and getting away. And so they end up giving chase, eventually catching up with them. And of course, this guy, as Raph and Casey are fighting him, recount like his story of how he became a mutant and why he's doing all this and whatever. But in the end, Raph and Casey bring him down. And at that point, from the attack in the department store, Santa comes hobbling out with a crutch. He's like, oh, thanks for rescuing the toys, but they've got to get to the orphanage. They're for the kids at the orphanage, and I can't make it with my bum leg now. So Raph and Casey end up going to the orphanage, Casey dresses up like Santa Claus, Raph dress up like an elf, and they give the kids the toys. Meanwhile, Casey is all disgruntled still about everything. But when he gets home that night and wakes up or maybe it's when he gets home that night, there's a mysterious present in his room, and he opens it, and it's the bear he wanted as a kid. And there's a note from Santa saying, like, sorry it took so long, but I never forgot about you. Here's your toy, sort of thing. So, of course, all is forgiven for Santa in Casey Jones's world after that, right? Pretty cool story, pretty funny to see the more sensitive side of Casey Jones, right? Okay, next up, I had seen this series advertised in previous books, but totally forgot to put it on my list of what to get every time. So we got a lot of them. We got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Battle Nexus, issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, and issue 4. So, the Battle Nexus is something that's really cool. I can't remember if it was spawned. It's not in the original like 1987 cartoon, but the one that came after that, I think in 2002, something like that. There may have been a Battle Nexus story arc in that cartoon, or there may not have been. I don't remember. But they released some video games that I have on the GameCube from back in the day that was this Battle Nexus game. So basically, it's like a street fighting kind of game. It's not a level-based platformer, side-scroller, beat 'em up, whatever. It's based on these kind of fights that you do. And they're really fun games. So when I saw these comics, I'm like, oh, that's a kind of cool idea. They kind of dredged that kind of story arc up from, like I said, either the cartoon, but definitely the video game series. So basically, the Battle Nexus in these comic issues is this giant arena that seems like it's located in outside of space and time in its own little kind of universe. And for as long as they can remember, it's been a celebrated championship that brings opponents together to fight in an honorable tournament or whatever. There's a council of people that run the whole thing, and it has always been a reputable thing. However, Savanti Romero, he's a villain that has shown up across the issues over the years. He has taken over the Battle Nexus tournament. He is a mutant goat man or something like that. He has kidnapped Renette, the time-traveling girl with the scepter. He's stolen her scepter. He now controls time, or has one of the people that has the ability to control time. He has taken over the Battle Nexus tournament. The board of directors of the tournament are under his control by force, and he is bringing all of these combatants to the Battle Nexus with a definite plan in mind. So in New York City, the Turtles are in the middle of fighting Bebop and Rocksteady, I believe it is, when all of a sudden a green portal opens up and they're all sucked into it. So they are taken to the Battle Nexus tournament where Savanti Romero is like, Turtles. So he explains what's happening, that they're all going to have to fight in this tournament, but he doesn't explain exactly why. So they're all taken to a holding cell where this other mysterious figure is in there and starts talking to them. He himself looks like a turtle, but he's wearing this robe, so you can't really tell. But it's obviously some sort of turtle-ish creature. And Leonardo is the first one called to fight in the tournament, and Savanti Romero releases a shredder on him. It looks like the shredder from the original comic books. He's black and white, whatever. And when the fight is over and Leonardo gets defeated, he vanishes. And he's taken to this place, outside of time and space. It's just like a prison holding planet sort of thing, or pocket dimension, whatever it may be. And this mysterious robed turtle thing inside the holding cell starts explaining what Savanti has been doing. That he is trying to bring in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from all multiverse opportunities into this tournament. He's rigged the rules against them so that when the turtles lose, they're sent to this pocket dimension where they will never bother him again. So that's why he has rigged this whole tournament that way. So across the 4 issues, we see the first fight, like I said, is Leonardo and Shredder. So Leo gets sent to Purgatory. Next, Raphael is put in the tournament, and Alopex is brought in as his opponent, who is his ex-girlfriend, who he did a little dirty. And so they get in a big fight, but in the end, they kind of make up, and they're laughing after they kick the crap out of each other. Savanti gets pissed. He sends Raph away, but people are like, well, he didn't lose. It was kind of a tie. They kind of gave up, and they're laughing now. And he's like, I don't care. So he's bending the rules to get what he wants. In the meantime, the council's like, you can't do that. And he's like, silence! And he's totally tyrannically overseeing this tournament. And then the next fight is Donatello and Metalhead. Donatello wins by deactivating Metalhead, but again, Savanti's like, oh well, see ya, Donnie. And then at the very end of the 4th issue, we see Slash was brought into the holding cells earlier. We've seen him from the start of the whole thing, and him and Mikey are bound to fight in this last fight. But they're good friends, right? So Mikey, like at the end, he just throws down his nunchucks and says, "I'm not doing it," and that's how the 4th issue ends off. And then throughout the issues, a bit of background information is given on some of the characters. Like Savanti Romero details how he built this resentment and came to finally escape his own purgatory when he was sent to like a pocket dimension as a punishment. How he escaped that and then planned this whole taking over of the Battle Nexus tournament. His enforcer is Ninjara, and so it shows a little backstory on how he coerced her into working for him in this thing. And then a little bit of backstory also on a little bit on Metalhead, on how Savanti acquired Metalhead. And there may have been 1 or 2 others, but that was mostly the main bulk of the story. And yeah, it was fun to get the first 4 issues all at once, and then I could just bang them all out as one kind of continual arc, right? I really like where they're going with this. And yeah, it's been fun so far. Love the Battle Nexus.